So in this course, there's a lot of information. So much information. In every permaculture course, people are just blown away at how much information comes to them. And I have to say, we live in an information age, and that's been such an important part of the development of these last years. These last few generations have been about, we need to have access to information. Like when I was a kid, I had an Encyclopedia Britannica set, and that was like our information. And we would, read through that, and we would look through that for the information we needed. Like if I had a question, my dad would say, go to the encyclopedia. And, if your encyclopedias weren't up to date, then you didn't have the latest information. And so, now you can go to Grandmother Google and just say anything and put any question that's out there and get some type of response, or a Wikipedia that gives you information. Yet information in itself doesn't give life. And I think it's really important for us to understand that information has to move out of the realm of just being something that comes at you. That it's something that just comes to you and you say, I know that. It's like you don't know it until you move it into what I call the realm of knowledge, which is where you've interacted with that information. So permaculture, there's information coming, but it's important in this course that you're not just watching the screen, but you're also taking some of the points and some of the exercises that are being shared, and you're taking it out and you're getting some muscle memory with it. You're actually integrating some of it into your life, where you're saying, okay, here's composting. I've never done it. I've watched this video on how to do it, which is the information, but that information doesn't mean you know how to compost. So then you take that out and you start to interact with it, and you start building the pile, and you start to learn what's around you and how the materials and the carbon pathways in your particular area work, and how that particular pile is going to have certain learnings for you that brings information to what I call the realm of knowledge. So our goal is to move information to knowledge. And then the more we spend with that compost pile, where we then make the next compost pile, and we burned a little bit too much and we got it too hot, and it's like, okay, well, what were the materials? And you adjust that. And then you do another pile and it was too cold, and then you do another pile and there's a lot of different types of microbes that you've never seen before, and you start to develop an understanding of composting on many levels. And then you go out into the forest and you start to look at the duff in the forest, and you see that there's composting going on, that all we're doing is mimicking the composting in the forest. And then you start to see that there's other ways to compost in a large field where you layer it like a forest. And you start to see that type of mulching in the garden bed itself is a form of composting, and you can actually layer in the carbon and the nitrogen so that you get that mulch layer start to become a humus layer through a composting process. And there is where you start to be able to take it to other landscapes, other bioregions, that it has a whole different look to it, but you understand the fundamentals. And that's where we've moved the information to knowledge, and then the knowledge into a realm of wisdom. And ultimately, our hope is that this information will become wisdom in your life that helps you and your community and your children's children's children to have a beautiful life that is contributing to its landscape rather than detracting from it.
Legend has it we could be legends, etched in the stone, forever on thrones. Histories made in the moments. Heroes collide.